So good morning or good afternoon, depending where you're calling from. Welcome to today's Digital Earth Africa live session. Today we'll be talking about how to access the Digital Earth Explorer in Africa GeoPortal. Welcome. So Digital Earth Africa was set up 4 years ago with the mission of supporting different sectors using Earth observation and now using analysis-ready data, which is very key to unlock development. So the program is based on open data platform and also working with different partners to create impact. Digital Africa has created continental services, which are helping to empower countries in climate action. So we have the coastline service, we have the water bodies, the water observation from space, fractional cover, and cropland. Most of these services, we work closely with Esri as our partner to share these data sets on the Africa GeoPortal. So access to Digital Africa data is possible through the Digital Africa map, the sandbox, as well as your own GIS software, which will be using the open web map services, as well we have our own learning platform. For the purposes of today, we look at Africa GeoPortal, which is empowering communities and science of everywhere. So in the Africa GeoPortal, which was set up a few years ago, has put in data sets from different partners and has helped different access to different tools to create more value to the tools, as well as to create more stories, especially even the story maps that you'll be able to see in this particular example. So the Africa GeoPortal, Digital Africa has worked closely with Esri to make sure some of our data sets as well as the tools are available so that end users are able to get valuable insights. So in this case, you're able to access the data as well. We have a section where you're also able to access some of the learning tutorials. So access to this platform is very important. As you can see, different partners are connected and you're able to discover also other data sets that are availed through the Africa GeoPortal. We also have the content which is featured, including access to some of our data sets, the coastline, as well as the water bodies, especially where we were showing the extent of flooding. And also we've created tutorials which are step-by-step. And some of the tools that we have the map viewer as an opportunity to look at the Digital Africa tools. We also have the Digital Earth Africa Explorer and the story maps, as well as other apps that we're able to connect to make sure we're able to connect all the services. Also, in the same, when you look at Digital Africa, from the Digital Africa Explorer, we have access to our continental services, the Sentinel-2 annual geomap. We have the crop extent. We also have the water observation from space, and also we added the water body service in the Africa GeoPortal so that we actually make it easier for you to visualize and analyze information with a better lens to understand what is happening and make more informed decision. So this just gives you how to access Digital Africa on the Africa GeoPortal. And also we have the site where I'll be able to share the link with you. And also you'll be able to see ready to use apps, even including our coastline dashboard, which has been updated with data up to 2023. As well, you'll also see other data sets that have been added that I've mentioned. So when you look at the library respectively, you'll see all these services, over 15 of them, making sure that we empower the community across all different platforms, and also looking at some of the use cases we've published with different partners. It's a very good platform as well, making sure that we empower the continent to access some of the services. So also, as I mentioned on earlier on, these are some of the services, and also making sure that I'll be able to share the link in the chat, how you can access the Africa GeoPortal. And also we had a section where I was able to show you the link first to this particular resource that you can be able to follow from your side. Also allowing for any questions you can put in the chat as well. And also when you go to the Digital Africa platform, you'll have the actual link to how you can access the Africa GeoPortal, and also putting in the link for the upcoming session, which will also be in French, making sure that we connect with the diverse communities. So back to our presentation, you'll be able to see now in the demo section how to access the various services. So this is the link that I shared in the chat. When you go to digitalafrica.org, you'll be able to see how to access the Digital Africa platform. And you'll see the link to the Africa GeoPortal. And there you can sign in with your email, Gmail or other email. And from there, you have your own account, which is also free access, and be able to inspire and looking also at other partners who are also in the Africa GeoPortal. It's quite a very good community. Looking at the Digital Africa Explorer, which I was showing you that you can analyze, search, and get the various data sets that we have in the platform, making sure that we leave no one and no place behind. So based on your internet connectivity, it might take some few minutes to connect. And there you're able to make a comparison on the imagery, even changing the base map. And when we explore the image, we can use the Sentinel-2 and more cloud-free mosaics, which are very key to unlocking your potential. So just a recap of the link again. So the Africa GeoPortal, you can sign in with your own account and look at the featured content. Here we'll be looking at the Digital Earth Explorer, where you can actually search a map and analyze and even create your map, that you can even share a story map link that can be accessed via email or via other social media channels. So when it loads, you'll see in the background, this is the Digital Africa Explorer. And you can change the background respectively. So you can choose between the Landsat or Sentinel-2 or any other Sentinel-2 imagery, which is loaded every 5 days. Then also you can choose to change the base map as well, based on what is provided in the Esri base map, looking at data, geography, etc. Very interesting backgrounds as well for your mapping. So over time, we've moved from conventional maps on your desktop now to something that you can do online. You can add various layers and be able to have an idea of what is happening in the background and share with the user community what can really happen. That's the link that you can share on the Africa GeoPortal. Then when we move to the other example, still in the Africa GeoPortal, the Digital Africa base map, where we said you can add different layers and even export an image. You can even create bookmarks. Then you have to sign into your email, and then you can look for a location. I could maybe select Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, for example, and you can see in the background it's loading based on your internet connectivity. And from then you can be able to add some layers, which are adding shortly. So here you can choose from the GeoMat we have, which is cloud-free mosaics, or from the Landsat 8, which will go up to 2030, or even go to the Landsat service itself, which goes to 1985. Also, you can choose to other Esri tools in the Africa GeoPortal. You can also clip your data based on cloud. So there's a lot of possibility with this South Africa Explorer in Africa GeoPortal. You can change the background of the indices based on NDVI or short infrared. You can also change the imagery in the background, Sentinel-2, even looking at maybe geology or looking at color infrared, natural color, or even force color composite, or even vegetation index. And even you can do a comparison. So it's a very nice platform, just showcasing what is possible and also working with different indices on the fly without you computing any indices, just getting an idea of the greenness around the area or even soil moisture or built up index, which is very key for most of our cities which have really grown over time. So this is more of a showcasing what is possible, so that in the next opportunity, you'll be able to present some of your amazing work. So for anywhere within Africa context. So you can also compare imagery, which is also key, that you can put one in the left, the other one on the right. You could have how can it look in Sentinel-2 or how can it look on Landsat. So having that comparison can be very nice to see how much valuable information you're getting from one satellite compared to the other one. You can even choose to select between dates. For the Sentinel, cloud-free mask goes up to 2017. You can also compare it with the Landsat in the background and look at the comparison. As you can see, Landsat is at 30 and Sentinel at 10 meters, quite some difference. But now Landsat has that capability of going back history in time, which you will not find in many satellite programs, free data. Then we can have the other example, which is now an example of looking at the water observation from space, very key. So this one, we are looking at a city in Kenya called Garissa, where they experienced some floods around November 2021, and also the November of 2022. So this means it is more likely to be an annual event around this particular time. And this particular river drains into the Indian Ocean. So this particular example, the colors are indicating that what has remained slightly blue was the original course of the river, but sometimes when these floods, you'll see occasional spots which are red, which would have been a spillover of the banks of the particular river in time. So then you can see we can change between 2 years, and you can see what is happening in the background. We use this as a use case of showcasing the impact of disaster, and it was demonstrated by our partners, Esri. So the key message is that with this data, we're able to show some impacts of what has happened without even downloading new data. And this is very key just to bring an assessment of what has happened and what is likely to happen if no action is taken. Then the same one we have now slightly based now on Sentinel-2 data. We're able to showcase at 5 meters with the water index. Then you can choose between 2 dates where there was a focus around in the middle of the year, when around April, May, when there was exceptional rain, which was not foreseen based on the cyclones in the Indian Ocean. Then, of course, the blue captures the rain areas which are flooded. So looking at the same story, but different sensors. So our partners at Esri designed another flood watch for this particular county government, and it was showcasing what is possible based on what are the impact on other facilities. And this they were able to showcase with other data sets and how much people are affected, and even how much cost the government has to put in to repair the roads. So this is just moving from what the data sets show as impact of extent to other combination of other data tools within Esri that can show impact of what has happened and if high impact or areas to watch in case of further events. Looking at the same example, we could also showcase with what is available within Esri. It's an Africa Stream Flow Forecast Viewer, which when you looked at it, it was able to show an exceptional rainfall around this area around certain times. So they were able to show based on other data sets that there was exceptional rainfall noted. And this is a tool developed from the group of Earth observation, the group on water assessment. So showing how you can link your data with other external sources, very key to unlock potential. So as we mentioned, we have the water body service in Digital Africa, and our partners in Esri were able to showcase this particular use case for Lake Baringo, one of the Rift Valley lakes. And what has been noted has been floods over the last 4 years. And there was a data set that they were able to add to show what will be the impact to the other facilities. And you can show amenities around the lake and how they've been affected when there's a floods. And we noticed the floods were occasionally starting in the month of September, October, but exceptional rainfall in the years 2020, 2021, and actually the one of 2018. So showing that and coupled with other sources of data, it was possible to inform some of the governments how they can better use this water body service and create a profile of such a water body. So with this tool, you can create a profile of any water body we have, and it goes up to the start of the Landsat 5, 1984. So same example, looking at case by case, that is what we were showing in this particular context. Then when we move to this other one now is to show you how to access the Digital Africa coastline data, show any impacts based on the colors, red, showing areas which are really being impacted by coastal erosion, and areas to watch, especially the coast of Gabon, moving to the Angola as well, and Namibia. You can see those colors and the trend from the point of cartography, some towns which have been affected over time. And this data is based on Landsat, going as the year 2000, based on Land7 data. This shows you at least over 23 years of data, which is very key to show the historical patterns of some of our coastal areas and what has happened, like the coast of South Africa and Durban, are quite a prone area to flooding events in the April and in the October, November time. Closely to Mozambique, around Maputo and near another town called Beia and Exai, areas which are noted to be hotspot areas, especially when there's excess rainfall from the Indian Ocean, especially coupled with the different cyclones patterns that have been observed either in the April, May, or in the October, November timeframe. So this is how possible having such a dashboard based on Esri platform. You can really see country profile and how much has been impacted, and something which can really help some countries in getting an overview of what has happened and try to see how they can update their coastal management plans or further integrate with other decision-making bodies such as the disaster management authorities or even the environmental impact ministries or environments. So going also in the coast of Tanzania, looking at some of hotspot areas around Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar, then moving to the coast of Kenya, just as an example. This is just based on what has been generated by the tool, and also very key that whenever you have your own observations, you can actually see if it tallies with what has been reported or other existing plans. And they can see even going to the coast of Somalia, around Kismayo, Mogadishu. So moving to country, it can show you really what has really happened. Then going to the coast of Djibouti, Eritrea, and even in Egypt, at Alexandria, Cairo, at Alexandria, the north port of Suez Canal, you can see quite some developments there, and also coast of Libya, and also going to different country profiles. You can see how much area has been affected, even the coast of Algiers and Morocco, even going to the coast of Nigeria and Ghana. You can see quite a lot of areas have been impacted and how vulnerable communities are. So this big data and coupled with other sources and having a dashboard on Esri platform is very key to make our life a little bit seamlessly easy to visualize and also advise potential government agencies to take advantage of these tools and just an access to internet and be able to have a better view of how things are, even going to the coasts of Liberia, Sierra Leone, Freetown, quite areas which have been impacted over time. So sometimes when you click on an area, it has to query and has to connect to the internet. And that's why you see those dates figures are loaded, even going to the coast of Gambia and Senegal, Dakar, respectively. So covering 38 countries, coastal service on Africa GeoPortal. So all these are more showcasing, and I will be able to share the links with you. And also within the Africa GeoPortal, they have developed a learning center where some of our modules have been put up, 3 modules actually, helping you to get started on how to use the imagery from Digital Africa and doing some analysis and even doing some change detection. And it's free access. And these are very interesting tutorials. As you can see, less than 1 hour each, you'll be able to complete and get quite good knowledge that you can use for your work. It's just demonstrating to you how you can do it. Go into the platform, go into the Africa GeoPortal, and from that, you'll be able to go to the Learning Center. And from that, you can click on any of the resources and see how it is easy to get step by step, get knowledge, especially when you have some time and break. So this model has been developed by our colleague Delphine at Esri, and step by step. And the plan was to develop it in English and French, but now it's available first in English. And I think there was a link for the French version later. So all these tools are very useful, especially if you're in different sectors and you can see some of the topics and you can share with the community, or a very good resource that you can share with everybody. Also, we've worked closely with the team at Esri, where they also presented some of the tools for flood monitoring. These sessions were last in October, one in English, French, and Arabic, respectively, and we were able to share the links with different communities. And also, we have the Digital Africa training courses, which are self-paced. And also, we have these live sessions in English and French. Next week, it will be in French with my colleague Joseph, and also acknowledging the partners who've made this program quite a success, especially the Australian government and Helmsy Trust. And also, we continue to bring these sessions to you in English and French, and also pausing for any question from any of the participants, especially today that we are quite a full house. Anis?
Hello, Ken.
Yes, yes, Anissa.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this for today's session. It was really interesting in terms of presentation and the different platforms that you presented, and I think that is really interesting to have multiple data sources, multiple published data sources, especially in geospatial monitoring. This could help researchers and of course professionals to do better and to have more precise results in terms of observation. Thank you again, Kim, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Anis. Anis is from Observation Pahal in Tunisia, and they're working closely with Digital Africa in developing a soil organic carbon service and land regulation. Thank you so much. And Anis is a French speaker, also speaks very good English.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you, Kim.
merci beaucoup. In case there's any other question, you can let me know as we end our presentation. I will share the recording shortly.